So I know the reports are that you live in Stephenville. Are you still in Stephenville?
I am. I've been here. There was a small window of time that I moved to the next town over for about 2 or 3 years, but I've technically basically been here since college in 2000, so about 25 years.
And where did you grow up? Because there's like no information on that anywhere.
In Weatherford. I was
Okay.
born in Fort Worth, and then when I was in second grade, my parents built a house in Weatherford, and that's where I graduated high school. And then I moved here to Stephenville to go to college, and then just never left.
And was there heavy duty musical influences in your home as a kid?
My mom and dad both loved music. My dad listened to classic rock. I mean, my dad listened to classic country. My mom listened to classic rock. So, I was with her more, of course, because she was a stay-at-home mom. So there was a lot of James Taylor and Carole King, and
Hmm.
she went through her Yanni phase, and gosh, we were listening to like 1037 KVIL, and so there was a lot of soft rock. So I kind of have a love for that stuff. I remember my first albums that I got, Santa Claus brought me Pink Floyd Animals
Wow.
and Led Zeppelin 2. So those were my first two, you know, and then the music that I bought with my own money, I think I got Ace of Base on CD.
Let's go.
Oh, and I had the in cassette tapes. Very distinctly remember having Chattahoochee on tape, and then I had Garth Brooks in pieces. Um, so there was just kind of a whole wide swath of different kinds of music in my home, and I loved that. So I grew up listening to everything.
Well, looking back at that now, like, can you kind of see that those early influences in your art now?
Oh,
Yeah.
every day, especially now. The last two records I've done with Gordy and Trevor in Austin at the finishing school. Trevor just understands my early influences, and in a way that we maybe don't even have to talk about it. Like one of my Desert Island records is Carole King's Tapestry, and
Yeah.
so he knows that. And so there was a lot of finding a common sound with what I was writing, and kind of paying homage to that a little bit, especially on this last record. So yeah, I hear it all the time in either melody choices or yeah, I do. I don't mean to,
Yeah.
but I just hear it.
Well, you're not
Hmm.
supposed to mean to. I mean, that's kind of the point of being
Yeah,
inspired and
sure.
yeah, having that conduit. And then, man, I have so much respect for songwriters because of that. Because, like, for me, I can't do that. That's not a talent that I have. But I understand how it works just by talking to you folks all the time. So it's just
Yeah,
such a cool process, and it's never the same way for everybody either.
right.
So what was the genesis of your songwriting? Like, of course, a lot of us are going to grow up with music in our lives, and we're going to be inspired by it, and perhaps it'll be a therapeutic experience. But the very few of us actually pick up a pen or an instrument and take it a step forward. So what was that like for you?
I started writing poetry at a young age, and so I had an English teacher in fifth grade, Miss Decker, Bonnie Decker, and she went to church with me. Um, and so I grew up around some of my teachers. I saw them every Sunday and every Wednesday at church, and so I had a close relationship with her. And they did this project in fifth grade where you did a hardback book, and it was full of poetry. Well, I requested and bought an extra book, and then I wrote a book of poetry to all of my teachers. And so every teacher had their own
Wow.
section. And I remember doing creative writing in my diary. I found in my old diary from like second, third, and fourth grade, I found stories. I would just write like fictional stories uh, that are so silly to read now. But as for a fourth grader, I thought they were great. And I remember taking my diary to school and asking my teacher if I could read it to class. I wanted to read to the class. And so there's always been a little bit of like wanting to perform, wanting to share my ideas and the thoughts deep inside, with everyone. So it started out as poetry, and then mom bought me a guitar. I think I got it for Christmas my junior year. And it was just a crappy Washburn. It didn't have a pickup in it or anything. And I took it to college with me, and I bought a poster at Walmart and hung it on the dorm room wall, and I just taught myself how to play. So
Wow.
I've never had a formal lesson, and it probably shows for a lot of musicians. That's why I go, oh, good thing I'm not a guitar player, I'm a songwriter.
Yeah.
So focus on my voice and my words, don't focus on my playing, but